This is the application for the Aiper Surf S2 robotic pool skimmer. As you can see here, this is the landing page when you first come in. I only have the one robotic pool skimmer, so there aren't others for me to swipe through. There's a couple things I want to bring to your attention on this page in particular. Upper right-hand corner, this is going to be how you add devices. Plus sign will let you add via Bluetooth or add via a QR code. Coming down here, if you don't have anything, there'll be a plus sign. You can see that portion of the setup. This will be any notifications you got. So right now, I don't have any notifications, but you might have seen I did get an alert saying that my device is stuck. That's because right now it's not in a pool. It's just running in my garage, propped up. So I could show you the application because you need to be within range of the robot being on to actually do this. So it lets you know that it's on, what the battery level is. It gives you a little image there. Up here at the top, you might think, well, this is just to edit your robot's name. And kind of, it's actually to name the location, in my case, test pool. But it's other things more than just that. It's what type of pool do you have, above ground or in ground? What is the shape? This is all going to help the robot in skimming around doing what it does. In fact, the shape of it, and then length, width, and height, and then done. This is all going to be information that the robot can use. Now over here, you could see this is the temperature and UV rating. These are not things that exist on the robot itself, but more from the data that you put into the application ahead of time. So I gave it my zip code and it's telling me right now, it's not the greatest time to be doing a pool skimming robot review, but this is when we do this portion of it. Down here at the bottom, this was all under the home screen. If you come over to support, it's going to say, here are all the models of stuff that we have. In this case, I have the S2 and here's the manual and some frequently asked questions. You've got, again, information about your account, the application, verification, warranty, all that. They have a live chat. And then over here, this is going to be settings for the robot and application itself. So settings, you have account management, notification settings, app language, unit settings, and clear the cache, and then about us, and then how do you want your notifications to be done. Up here, you'll notice next to my name, there is an arrow which will allow me to change my picture and the name. But coming to our pool skimmer, if we hit the enter, the front screen interface changed a little bit between when I first started filming versus when this went live, in that there's now the version 2.0, which gives you access to a play pause to start your robot or pause it. Then you can come over to your virtual controls, allowing you to back up, go this way, go that way. We can stop that. Still remains paused. And they introduced scheduling. So if there's specific times that you'd like your device to actually go out and do stuff, you can do that. So you could set a start time, an end time, simply by doing that and then adjusting this way. And then it lets you know for optimal cleaning, you should have at least 3 hours. And you can choose days of the week and then select save. Those are the major changes with the version 2.0 of the firmware. When you're starting it again, operate the device only in an empty pool. Don't show me this again and confirm. And now it starts up. And those were the changes. Right now, you're going to see this is a notification that popped up while I was talking. It's letting me know, hey, the robot's stuck. So if I come in here and I say, yes, this was able to resolve it, it's not stuck, but this notification will stay there until the robot thinks it's not stuck. So it's got light sensing beams on the front of it that kind of let it know that it's moving around. And right now it's not because it's just pointed at a wall. So sadly, for this portion, that's going to be there. Normally it's not. You see a little animation of debris going into the robot itself. Down here at the bottom, this is actually a control. So you can manually control this back, left, right, and that's going to move the propellers around. However, this is only accessible when you're over Bluetooth. If you're not over Bluetooth or within Bluetooth range of this, you will not have access to these controls. Not terrible, but just something I want you to be aware of. Coming to the upper right-hand corner, we've got our 3 dots. These are going to be the settings for the robot itself as opposed to the application. Right here, you can see we can edit the name. So I'm leaving it as that for the time being, but you could change that if you want. Here we can see the individual run cycles that I've been having so far. So it's been used for a total of 3 hours for a total number of 5 cleanings. So here you can see it's letting you know automatic cleanings. This one was 146 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 minute, 5 minutes, and currently this is our 8-minute runtime. And you did see when we were back on this page that before it said it was stuck, there was actually a number there as it was counting down. This really is just a drop in and go type of robot. The application is more to give you information about what it's doing, and if you wanted to play with it, more than like needing to actually set this up. You would need to do it for a firmware, as you can see right there, but the rest of it, you can just drop this in, press the go button, and it does what it needs to do. Coming down, we have our device information, lots of sensitive information in there, not going to show you that. Network configuration, this is how you get your robot on your Wi-Fi. Next is firmware. If I come in here, you can check for firmware updates, or if you leave this on automatic, if it's close enough to your Wi-Fi, it'll just update itself, and then instructions of use. And it's got a lot of important information that you can utilize if you had questions about the basic usage of the robot. But I'm telling you, it is ridiculously simple to just drop this in the pool, hit the power button, and let it go about its business and do what it needs to do. Down here, we have our unbind. So if you wish to remove this device from your account, that's how you would do that. You can see the timers kind of started over there, coming back to our main page. And that has been everything that we could do for the Aiper Surf S2 in the Aiper app.